the role of the role of family and friends in shaping your habits. In 1965, a Hungarian man named Laszlo Polgar wrote a series of strange letters to a woman named Clara. Laszlo was a firm believer in hard work. In fact, it was all he believed in. He completely rejected the idea of innate talent. He claimed that with deliberate practice and the development of good habits, a child could become a genius in any field. His mantra was, "A genius is not born but is educated and trained." Lazaro believed in this idea so strongly that he wanted to test, test it, test it, taste it, test it, test. He wanted to test it with his own children. He was writing to Clara because he needed a wife willing to jump on board. Clara was a teacher, and although she may not have been an adamant as Lazlo, she also believed that the proper instruction anyone could be advance their skills. Lazlo decided chess would be a suitable field for experiment, and he laid out a plan to raise his children to become chess prodigies. The kids would be homeschooled, a rarity in Hungary at this time. The house would be filled with chessboards and pictures of famous chess. The children would play against each other constantly and compete in the best tournament they could win. The family would keep a meticulous file system of tournament history of every competitor. The, the children faced their lives would be dedicated to chess. Laszlo successfully courted Clara, and within a few years, the Polgards were parents of three young children, Susan, Susan, Sophia, and Judith. Susan, the oldest, began playing chess when she was 4 years old. Within 6 months, she was defeating adults. Sophia, the middle child, did even better. By 14, she was a world champion. And few years later, she became a grandmaster. Judith, the youngest, was the best of all. By age 5, she could beat her father. At 12, she was the youngest player ever listed among the top 100 chess players in the world. At 15 years and 4 months old, she became the youngest grandparent and master of all time, younger than Lady Fisher, the previous record holder. For 27 years, she was the number one ranked female chess player in the world. The childhood of the Polgar sisters was typical, to say the least, and that if you ask them about it, they claim their lifestyle was attractive, even enjoyable. In interviews, the sisters talk about their childhood as entertaining rather than grueling. They loved playing chess, they couldn't get enough of it. Once Laszlo reportedly found Sophia playing chess in the bathroom in the middle of the night. Encouraging her to go back to sleep, he said, "Sophia, leave the pieces alone." To which she replied, "Daddy, they won't leave me alone." The Polgar sisters grew up in the culture that prioritized chess above all else, praised them for it, rewarded them for it. In their world, an obsession with chess was normal. And as we are about to see, whatever habits are normal in your culture are among of the most attractive behavior you will find. The seductive full of social norms. Humans are herd animals. We want to fit in, to bond with others, and to earn the respect and approval of our peers. Such inclinations are essential to our survival. For most of our evolutionary history, our ancestors lived in tribes. Becoming separated from the tribe of us, being cast out, was a death sentence. The the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. Meanwhile, Those who collaborated and bonded with the others enjoyed increased safety, mating opportunity, access to resources. As Charles Darwin noted, in the long history of humankind, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. As a result, one of the deepest human desires is to belong, and this ancient preference exerts a powerful influence on our modern behavior. Modern behavior. We don't choose our earliest habits; we imitate them. We follow the script handed down by our friends and family, our church or school, our local community, and society at large. Each of these cultures and groups come with its own set of expectations and standards. When and whether to get married, how many children to have, which holidays to celebrate, how much money to spend on your child's birth party. In many ways, these social norms are the invisible rules that guide your behavior each day. You are always keeping them in mind, even if they are at the not top of your mind. Often you follow the habits of your culture without thinking, without questioning. Sometimes without remembering. As the French philosopher Michel de Montaigne wrote, the customs and practice of life in society sweep us along. Most of time going along with the group does not feel like a burden. Everyone wants to belong. If you grow up in a family that rewards you for your chess skill, playing chess will seem like a very attractive thing to do. If you work in a job where everyone wears expensive shoes, then you will incline to splurge on our as well. If all of your friends are sharing an inside joke or using a new fresh phrase, using a new phrase, you will want to do it too. So they know that you get it. Behaviors are attractive when they help us fit in. Imitate the habits of three groups in particular: the close, the many, the powerful. Each group offers an opportunity to leverage a second law of behavior change and make our habits more attractive. Imitating the cross. Proximity has a powerful effect on behavior. This is true of the physical environment as we discussed in chapter 6, but it is also true of the social moment. We pick up habits from the people around us. We copy the way out parents handle argument, the way our peers flirt with one another, the way our coworkers get result. When your friends smoke pot and you give it a try too. When your wife has a habit of double checking that door is locked before going to bed, you pick it up as well. I find that I often imitate the behavior of those around me without realizing. In conversation, I will automatically assume the body posture of other person. In college, I began to talk like my roommate when traveling to other countries. I unconsciously imitate the local accent despite reminding myself to stop. A general rule: a closer we are to someone, the more likely we are to imitate some of their habits. One groundbreaking study tracked 12,000 people for 32 years and found it person the person chance of becoming obese increased by 57% if he or she had a friend who became obese. If it works the other way too. Another study found that if person is a relationship lost weight, the other partner would also slim down about one third of the time. Our friends and family provide a sort of invisible peer and pressure that pulls us in their dedication. Of course, peer pressure is bad only if you are surrounded by influence. When astronaut Mike Massimino was a graduate student at MIT, he took a small robotics class Of the 10 people in the class, 4 become astronaut. If your goal was to make it into space, then that room was about the best culture you could ask for. Similarly, one study found that higher your best friend IQ at age 11 or 10, higher your IQ would be at age 15. Even after controlling for natural levels of intelligence, we soak up the quality and the practice of those around us. One of the most effective things you can do to build better habits is to join a culture where your desired behavior is a normal behavior. New habits seems achievable when you see the other doing them every day. If you are surrounded by fit people, you are more likely to consider king out to be a common habit. If you are surrounded by jazz lover, you are more likely to believe it is reasonable jazz play jazz every day. Your culture sets your expectation for what is normal. Surrounded yourself with people who have the habit of you want to have yourself. You will realize rise together. To make your habit even more attractive, you can take this strategy strategy one step further. Join culture where your desired behavior is normal behavior. You already have something in common with group. Steve Camp, entrepreneur in New York City, run a company called Nerd Fitness, which help nerds, misfits, and mutants lose weight, get strong, get healthy. His clients include video game lover, movie fanatics, and average Joes who want to get in shape. Many people feel out of the place the first time they go to the gym or try to change their diet. But if you are already similar to the other members of the group in some way, say you mutual love of Star Wars, change becomes more appealing because it feels like something people like you already do. Nothing sustains motivation better than belonging to the tribe. It transforms a personal quest into a shared one. Previously, you were on your own. Your identity was singular. You are a reader. You are a musician. You are an athlete. When you join a book club or a band or or cycling group, your identity becomes linked to those around you. Growth and change is no longer an individual person. We are readers. We are musicians. We are cyclists. We share identity begin to reinforce your personal identity. This is why remaining part of a group after achieving its goal is crucial to maintaining your habits. It's friendship and community that embedded a new identity and help behaviors last over the long run. Imitating the many. In the 1950s, psychologist Solomon S. conducted a series of experiments that are now taught to legions of undergrads each year. To begin each experiment, the subject entered the room with the group of strangers. Um, Unbeknownst to them, the other participants were actors planted by the researcher and instructor to deliver scripts answer to certain questions. The group would be shown one card with a line on it and then the second group with a series of lines. Each person was asked to select the line of the second card that was similar in length to the line of the first card. It was very simple task. Here is an example of two cards used in experiment. The experiment always began the same. First, there would be a some easy trial where everyone agreed on the correct line. After a few rounds, the participants were shown a test. What was just as obvious as previous ones. Expect the actors in the room select the intentionally incorrect answer. For example, they would respond A to the comparison shown on figure. Everyone would agree that the lines were the same, even though they were clearly different. The Subject who was unaware of the rules would immediately become bewildered. Their eyes would open wide, they would laugh nervously to themselves. They would double check the reaction of other participants. Their agitation would grow as one person after another delivered the same incorrect response. Soon the subject begins to doubt their own eyes. Eventually, they delivered the answer they knew in their heart to be incorrect. Ash ran this experiment many times and many different ways. What he discovered was that as the number of actors increased, so did the conformity of the subject. If it was just the subject and one actor, then there was no effect on the person's choice. They just assumed they were in the room with the dummy. When two actors were in the room with the subject, there was still impact. But as the number of people increased to three actors and four, and all the way to eight, and subject become more likely to second guess themselves. By the end of the experiment, nearly 75% subjects had agreed with the group answer, even though it was obviously incorrect. Whenever we are unsure how to act, we look at the group to guide our behavior. We are constantly scanning our environment and wondering why is everyone else doing. We check reviews on Amazon, your help or TripAdvisor because we want to imitate the best wine. Eating and travel habits. It's usually a smart strategy. दे अरे दो भाई मैं पढ़ रही हूँ. Oh, it's nice. कितने का है? 99. Oh, it's nice. ये चाहिए था. यार 99 के तुम मेरे लिए नहीं लाती हो. हट जाओ इधर से. आना था ना फिर. वो क्या पता तुम्हें 99 का लाओगे. नहीं तो मैं फ़ोन करके ही बोल देती. मेरे को टेलीपैथी होती तो. कंचन बोलती है हम भरता ले आओ बाजार से. कंचन भरते की सब्जी. हाँ ये भी अच्छा है. वाह वाह. ये भी 99. 129. सही है यार. 129 का दिखाओ कपड़ा. सही है. Whenever we are unsure how to, but there can be downside. The normal behavior of the tribe often overpowers the desired behavior of the individual. For example, one study found that when a chimpanzee learned an effective way to crack nuts open as member of one group and then switches to a new group that uses a less effective strategy, it will avoid using the superior not cracking method just to blend in with the rest of chimps. Humans are similar. There is tremendous internal pressure to comply with the norms of the group. The reward of being accepted is often greater than a reward of winning an argument, looking smart, or finding truth. Most days we would rather be wrong with the crowd than be the right by ourselves. The humankind knows how to get along with others. It wants to get along with others. This is our natural mode. You can override it. You can choose to ignore the group or to stop caring what other people think. But it takes work. Running against the grain of your culture requires extra effort. When changing your habit means challenging the tribe, change is unattractive. When changing your habit means fitting in with the tribe, change is very attractive. Okay. Imitating the powerful. Humans everywhere pursue power, prestige, and status. We want pins and medallions on our jacket. We want president or partner. We want to be acknowledged, recognized, and praised. This tendency can seem vain. but overall it is smart move. Historically, a person with great power and status has access to more resource warriors less than about survival and proves to be more attractive mate. We are drawn to behaviors that earn us respect, approval, admiration, and status. We want to be one in the gym who can do muscles up, or a musician who can play the hardest chord progression, or the parent with the most accomplished children, because these things separate us from the crowd. Once we fit in, we start looking for a ways to stand out. This is one reason we care so much about the habits of highly effective people. We try to copy the behavior of successful people because we desire success ourselves. Many of our daily habits are imitations of people we admire. You replicate the marketing strategy of most firms in your industry. You make a recipe from your favorite baker. You borrow the storytelling strategy of your favorite writer. You may make the communication style of your boss. We imitate people we envy. High status people enjoy the approval, respect, and praise of others, and that means if a behavior can get us approval, respect, and praise, we find it attractive. We are also motivated to avoid behaviors that would lower our status. We trim our hair and mow our lawn because we don't want to be a slob of neighborhood. When our mothers come to visit, we clean up the house because we don't want to be judged. We are continually wondering what will others think of me, and altering our behavior based on the answer. The Polgar sisters, the chess prodigies mentioned at the beginning of the chapter, our evidence of the powerful lasting impact social influencer can have on our behavior. The sisters participated chess for many hours each day, continued this remarkable effort for decades. But these habits, behavior maintained their attractiveness in part because they were valued by in their culture, from the praise of their parents and achievements of different status markers, like becoming a grandmaster. They had many reasons to continue their effort.